Mike, turn your games down.
Regular TV episode of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who's with me tonight? I got nothing for this one.
I am Joe Butler, and no, I'm not wearing white. I'm still wearing green, goddammit.
And King Kuma, the pocket dimension janitor in the command center.
We are here to talk about two different two-parters in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Green No More and White Light. Essentially when Tommy loses his power and then comes back. And both came out in 94.
There's probably a gap in there, too. There's probably like 4 or 5 episode gap in there.
There's like 3 episodes gap. I almost wanted to watch one of them because Kimberly becomes an evil queen or something, and I had my attention. But I didn't have the power to care enough.
Evil Kim. She becomes like Rita for a bit.
I mean, depending on how they went with it, it could be pretty interesting to me. But I guess they would not do what I want.
I'm sure they use that with the Pink Ranger, whatever, what we see in the comic currently. I'm sure that's brought up at some point too. Yeah, I'm sure that's brought up in Ranger Slayer at some point. So
they might have. I don't remember fully. And then again, Ranger Slayer, canon-wise, she might have not turned into that evil version before Ranger Slayer in the Coinless War.
Oh yeah, because none of that stuff happens, really. Right, so I have never seen any of these episodes before, or at least not in a long time. If I have, I might have seen Green No More. I don't think I ever saw White Light.
So this goes with basically, which I haven't seen it. I don't mind if y'all spoil a little bit of it. Have both of y'all watched a documentary yet? I know Mike has.
I have, yes.
Which documentary?
The Power Rangers documentary.
Hollywood Demons.
Oh, yeah. I watched it a week ago.
Okay. You can very much tell this show is being held together by pennies and duct tape and bubblegum.
What gave that away, buddy?
One of the ongoing proofs me and Rich love to joke about, I don't know if you noticed, Mike, I should have told you when on your rewatch, is the, obviously you can always tell when it's filmed American because of the chest plate, because we got a foam chest plate because they broke the official chest plate upon shipping.
And they couldn't make another one?
They could not make another one, no. This is also Saban, so he paid for shipping for one. He is not paying for shipping for a second.
All the wages he stole from the Rangers, do you think he could?
And he did not feel bad about it at all.
Is that motherfucker still alive?
Yes.
I think he is, yes. God
damn it. Fuck you, Chris Saban, or whatever the fuck your name is.
Chris Saban, that's a wrestler.
Oh, okay.
Haim Saban.
Yeah, no, watching that documentary made me hate him more. And like when we were watching this, I did kind of think about it, because in Green No More, there is some bullshit stuff in here where I'm just like, man, how are you that cheap?
I can't wait for us to get to that, but meanwhile, we get into, I'm not gonna lie, I have a hard time watching these now with half of these guys being dead. It really fucking pulls my heartstrings.
Oh yeah, because Tommy's dead, and
Trina,
Yellow Ranger's dead.
Trini's dead, and Amy Jo Johnson got treated like shit, and
Austin St. John's
a Nazi. I don't care if he's a felon.
David Yost got treated like shit. I always feel bad for him. Like every time I see him on screen, I feel like shit. Like, man, this guy was getting fucking extremely bullied and neglected or abused behind the scenes.
No offense to David Yost and the time. That man is dressed like a gay man 90% of the time. I don't even know how they got away with that.
He's super cool though. When I met him, he was really nice.
Oh, he's super nice. Yeah.
He didn't even have a handler at his desk either, at his table. It was just him, which is not normal for conventions. So he was doing everything himself, and he was real nice. He would come up to each person and do the morphin with them if they wanted to or whatnot, and it was really cool.
I think they're all like that, to be fair. Those dudes really do love, like, as much as I like to think too as well. I think the documentary also confirmed it too. Every single one of them, especially when they were brought back, just loved being like icons for children from the 90s.
Yeah, kind of have to be. Like, if
I always wonder, like, because a lot of them don't end up doing like bigger Hollywood projects. I mean, Amy Jo Johnson kind of did, Tommy or JDF kind of did his own thing in different ways. But outside of them, not many other people really got to go to anything else notable. So they just kind of do the cons.
It's a weird thing with actors. Technically, if you want to, I can give 2 examples I can think of. One, I think she's like a best-selling book author now. Jeanette McCurdy, the girl that played Sam for iCarly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, her mom basically abused her and starved her to make her look like a 12-year-old. Yeah, and she basically confirmed, like, even though she was an actor for like 4 or 5 years. She never wants to do it again. The kid that played Dewey for Malcolm in the Middle also refuses to come back to acting. He gave them permission to replace him with a lookalike for the reunion special that they're coming out with after a while. But he also completely just refuses to work too in Hollywood. And honestly, from I actually kind of also want to watch all of Hollywood Demons because Mike talked about that. Me and him talked about that in an episode, and it really shows how fucked up Hollywood is in the 90s and early 2000s.
I don't think it changed all that much, but yes,
social media helps now.
When I was watching
that's unfortunate.
This show is hard. Like, it is just such 90s though. Sometimes like the kid just dancing in the school, and I'm like, this is so 90s. The way the first,
I felt the same way.
I could never go back and watch the show again. Like, it's made for an audience that I am not anymore. Not because he was dancing in school, but everything is just so corny.
I see, Mike. There's a trick that I've learned to deal with these. You know what that is?
Get high?
Get unbearably high. Yes, that's mainly how I was able to deal with this. I also put it in the background of a video of a game. So
I did it while editing. So that's how I watched this.
I did it while scrolling Reddit.
I thought you were gonna say while working out. I was like, okay, but the nose going.
Yeah,
it's been a little hard while out of town, but yeah.
I will admit it's not bad, especially if I'm not saying it's to watch as an adult, but if you're an adult and you like Power Rangers and you're like, my kids need something to put on the TV, so they'll leave me alone. I'm pretty sure Power Rangers would be fine, but this shit is legitimately 90s.
It's a little tough going back to, because I mean, one, it has very much of the whole like, you can tell it's a kid's show, and that we got to have some meaning to it, and like, be friends, and then Netflix I think cuts out the ending part where they teach you a lesson. That's not there anymore.
It is like this show in general, like especially going back this far, it's clearly for kids. Like the budget, as Joe says, fucking horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's hard to watch in almost every aspect, every angle. The only cool stuff you can really pull from it is some of the nostalgic memories and just the cool outfits when they actually do end up fighting in the Zords. That's really all you can get out of the action scenes. Anything else, in most cases, is really hard to watch.
So the whole thing, like with Green No More, is they have like these fake teenagers that come that are supposed to be essentially references to the main cast.
But evil.
Do they ever show up again, or are they just here for these 2 episodes and they're gone?
This is it.
That is such a why even have this? Like, why have these essentially cookie cutter copies for no reason at all? Like, I don't understand.
Well, they had an opportunity to not have Zach's counterpart be black, and they did anyway. The evil counterpart, they just did it anyway.
In the documentary, like, we didn't catch that. Sure, you didn't, buddy.
Yeah, I did see a clip from the documentary where they were like, none of us thought it was a bad idea to put an Asian girl in the yellow suit and a black guy in the black suit. And I don't know, I say because I've been watching more 90s specials about things, and a lot of times it isn't about them not thinking. It's literally just, we don't want to argue with the guy that gives us money, so we're just going to do what he says.
I mean, I don't blame them. I mean, yeah. I don't blame them one bit. You're just doing what you have to do to get paid. Like, and this was also a non-union job, too.
Oh, fuck me. That sucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this whole thing was non-union.
Are they in California?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, they're on a beach at one point, but they also have factories. But that's from the Japanese footage, so it doesn't really matter.
But yes, they're in California, make believe city. But yeah, that's some of the dumb stuff that's in here. I don't know. It was hard after watching the documentary and going back and watching these episodes. Like this, it made it harder. In this episode, this Green No More really wasn't that good. Like the whole idea is that Tommy's losing his powers from the earlier shit that happened to him. So now he can transfer one more time. And that one early in this little 2-part, he comes from the future to tell his past self that use the communicator, and then disappears again. I don't know. I thought that was weird.
So we're basically running up upon, which is even weirder. I guess it's supposed to be the idea of it. They're running out of footage to use. Yeah, they have. I believe in America, we were passed down the suits, which we changed, and we were passed down, I want to say, the monster suits, and maybe I don't even think like a bunch of stuff either. I say that because there's a video that I need to find for y'all to send y'all where basically one of the like guys that work backgrounds was like, yeah, what was it? They spent $300 of their own money to go to a specific toy shop to look for the toy figurines for the current mechs that they're using in this, the Ninja mechs.
Wasn't that the toys that made us? They brought that up.
I think so because I've heard
I
it
think
too.
so, yeah. And so because basically because those mechs come from a different Sentai, but they didn't. Even though it would have been easier. Then again, I also believe maybe it has something to do with Simon being a fucking cheap bastard. Instead of having them switch suits, they just kind of keep them in the same suits and then change the mechs. That's why they have that whole sequence where all the Zords turn into different Zords because they're reusing footage.
I hate that, by the way. I hate that each Thunder Zord has about 16 names, as they call it out.
It's bad. I was gonna make a joke in the opening, and I forgot all about that. It's so stupid. No, but it's like I don't know, and just I think it's harder also watching Power Rangers now that like I know how much of it is like how the show works. It makes it harder. All the shit when they're not like, isn't Lord Zed a American-made villain too?
He is.
Okay,
is he?
Yeah, he's an original American villain.
That's crazy.
That's about the only thing they got right. They probably spent the whole fucking budget on his outfit, and we get the Dark Rangers with the remaining pennies.
We're gonna bitch about that now, right? Like
we can. I mean, that was so you made the joke about it while you were before I got episode, and then I got to that part, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's I mean, like it's a guy in a suit. I mean, they put the people in a suit, and then they cut, and it looks like they have a stocking cap on their head. And I mean, stocking. I mean, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 people wearing things on their head that are robbing that toy store. Like it's like that. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Can't you just like make a mask that looks cool, like a helmet? Like, nope.
And they color in the eye holes with like red marker or something. It was really bad, man.
And they don't do anything. They just literally just stand there in the outfit. They don't fight, don't move. They just stand there. Like, what was even the point of this? And the whole
it's
the
really
whole plot,
weird.
It's awful. The whole plot of these 2 episodes, all that. Oh, you know, we got to get Zed's got to bring a villain powerful enough so he absorb Tommy's power into the green crystal, and Tommy will never be the Green Ranger again.
The only cool thing about any of this is and this is the part that I remembered, like going back to it, was Tommy kind of doing his one-on-one thing with Goldar. That is it. There's nothing else redeemable.
That's probably the best part of this whole 2-part episode, honestly.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
The monster is even good. Like I don't remember this crustacean at all.
I do, but he sucks. He's terrible.
I never saw.
Urban
they act like he's like the worst thing they ever fought, which was annoying too.
They do that with every monster, though.
Oh, okay.
I think
it's just been a while. I don't know. Him destroying the buildings still makes me laugh, though. Like I'm watching it, I'm like, because it just, it was just, and like when he, like the whole idea of the way they beat him is Tommy goes inside of him and starts shooting him from the inside. I mean, that was amusing. I'm like, yeah, this is definitely some, you can tell this was the Japanese footage here. And I forgot that Power Rangers was losing footage, so it was getting harder and harder for them to make stuff at this point.
It's okay. You think that's weird? Wait till we get to White Light, because I'm going to point out a bunch of weird shit.
Oh, yes. Pterodactyl, Firebird, Thunderzord power. Like, it's just too much. Triceratops, Unicorn, Thunderzord power. That's just stupid.
That hurts. That definitely hurts. Yeah, I don't like it at all. They in no shape or form needed to include the original dinosaurs. There's no reason for it.
I mean, also the Dragon Zords are just like the only one that's sort of cool is the Red Dragon. The rest are just really, really dumb looking toys.
Honestly, that Red Dragon is cool as fuck. I love that thing.
Yeah, I love dragons, but it's all when you put it with everything else, it just I also did notice
like mythical monsters or something like
it's
that.
The Chinese dragon style.
Well, that one is. The rest of them, one's a unicorn, one's a griffin.
Oh, yeah.
It's not even a unicorn or a griffin. They just look like a car with a head on it. They look awful. I've seen the toys when I go to toy swaps. There's a guy that every so often is selling a whole bunch of Power Rangers. It's like, man, these things, like, some of them are cool, but man, this sword sucks.
To be honest, I was never, like, when they went from the Dinozord to Thunderzord, I was not the biggest Thunderzord fan. I liked their katana. The weapon was cooler, but the Zord itself design, I was not the biggest fan. Other than that Red Dragon,
I like it. I like the Thunder Zord. I think it's a pretty cool upgrade.
It's from a different show, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I noticed, like, when I was watching this a little bit, like, the Thunderzord really doesn't fight on screen as much with the crustacean.
Yep.
He does his attacks on a different screen, and then they go over to it. And is the Dragon Zord from a different show too? Or
What, the Green Dragon?
the Dragon
Or what do
Zord?
you mean?
Yeah, the one that were Tommy's Zord. Like that was from the actual show that's stealing
That
from
was
originally, right?
from the initial, Mighty Morphin.
Isn't doing no
Zoo
damage.
Ranger.
Yeah, Zoo Ranger.
And that's really just because at the end, like I think I've said numerous times before, at the end of Zoo Rangers, the big finale is the death of the Green Ranger, and then the Red Ranger getting the dragon shield. Them basically blowing up Rita, and then the Green Ranger revealing that he's the Red Ranger's brother, and then passing, and that's just the end.
There's
Like
a
he's
part of me that wants to watch it, but not enough.
It holds up a lot of, and I'll say that because I've heard of it. I have heard a lot of like the older Japanese stuff super holds up. Like because they don't, it's not like here. Like they'll have a couple of goofy episodes, but I mean, as I said before, they have death. The plot of Zoo Rangers is they're part human, part dinosaur, and they're basically trying to survive the apocalypse. Like it's crazy. And it's like they show kids this and they're like, yeah. And then there'll be a silly Christmas episode where they do a dance and Santa Claus will fart. And it's like, oh, that was weird. Yeah. And the next episode, someone else dies. Oh, God.
Yeah, they don't fuck around. Like I actually, it does hold up more, and it's quite interesting to see these same like monsters and scenes and suits that the Rangers are wearing in a whole different context. That's a bit more fleshed out and not so watered down. Is what we got here.
Yeah, because isn't almost everything in the suits footage that they stole or they got?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost all of it. So season 2, like I remember when season 2 debuted, I was fucking excited for it. And I was like, this doesn't look as grainy or old as the stuff that I'm used to seeing. And that's because they were forced to shoot new footage in America for the first time.
I bet he was upset.
Yeah, we got the suits back. So basically, we got shipped the suits, all of them.
There was a point, I don't remember what season it was, if it was 2 or 3 or what the hell was going on, but what is it, Toei, right, Joe?
Toei, yeah, I think so.
So they shot new footage, like new quote Ranger footage for us at some point, as far as I remember.
Oh, and at the end of the episode, he loses his powers, and they trap the Rangers. That's when you see the ugly Mexican toys ripoffs, as Joe called them.
Yeah,
Bootleg toys, yeah.
They do look like bootleg toys.
and then they tell
the bootleg Power Ranger toys that were like that at some point.
Yeah, and then they tell the bully kid to not be bullies, and they're like, okay, and then the episode ends.
That's the second episode. They just need friends.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so stupid. This was not an episode.
I have a weird question. I need to find this one for you, Mike. It's really kind of fucked up. There's like a documentary about bullying and like what we do, like basically kind of like an idea of why bullies like exist. But I think it's not cited by like actual psychiatrists, and it's actually like it's like a bad, like how Super Size Me isn't technically like a real documentary now because it's been disproven.
Oh.
It's like that, and it's funny because like the end of the whole fifth end of the thing is they basically talk about how this group of kids bullied, I think was like a dwarf child. Is that the right term?
I don't think so, but
like a child that a child that's
I know what you mean.
Either way,
I don't know what what you're supposed to say.
The little person. A child little person, basically, that these group of kids bullied, and they basically try to get him on the documentary to be like, hey man, a bunch of the people that were bullies to you want to apologize. And he goes, are you guys just using me for clout and not actually apologizing? Well, we want to apologize to let we feel better. Okay, it's not going to make me feel better because you ruined my entire childhood, so fuck off. And they're like, well, that was rude of him. And it's like, no, that's pretty fucked up, actually.
I mean, you deserve it at that point. Like, I mean, I did shitty things to people when I was a kid, and I feel bad. But I'm not gonna reach out and be like, "Hey, man, I want to tell you I'm sorry, so I feel better." Like, no,
yeah.
You just
well, it's different to say you feel. It's different to say you're sorry. It's one thing to say you're sorry. It's another thing to say you're sorry and then film it and then be like, "See, I'm the better person." Yeah.
Yeah, that's a different thing. I just grew up and changed my ways if I had things I didn't like. Yeah, people. This thing was weird with the whole, like, I really thought those would be more in this, like, and then when you tell me they're only in this 2-parter, like, why is this here? Well, when Tommy was fighting Goldar, I kept thinking about the comic where Goldar hates Tommy because he lost him and he's being punished for it. And I'm like, oh yeah, sorry, wrong canon.
wrong better narrative.
Pretty much. No, I did not like Green No More at all. I didn't like anything about it. I thought it was awful. It was so stupid. It was like, this is a terrible 2-parter. Even when they
could've
freeze the
done
monster,
much better.
that was due. And then the whole thing is Tommy loses his powers and no longer can be the Green Ranger, and they make friends with the bullies because Jason comes up, hey, I for you. And they
Probably a lot on his salary back then.
Yeah.
Remember when smoothies were $1?
You remember the dollar store was $1?
Yeah.
It wasn't that long.
Remember when McChickens were $1?
Yeah.
Those things were awful.
Remember when Skull wore a full fucking Southern fucking outfit in White Lightning and no one questioned it the whole episode?
It wasn't. It was Skull. Oh yeah. No, yeah. He's wearing a Confederate. No, not Confederate. He's wearing a Northern soldier hat.
Oh, it's Northern. Okay, no, it's the
Northern.
jacket too.
Mm-hmm. Also, which is part of the joke. Well, California isn't really because California wasn't part of it, so it's not ever really considered like part of the South, where like some of the other countries like Georgia, Louisiana, even like some of the beginning of the West would be like Arizona, even though they weren't involved. But a lot of people who fought in the Civil War ended up going west and ended up in Arizona. But no, this would have been. It's a Northern outfit for. I'm pretty sure it's a Northern outfit. It looks bluer than it looks gray.
Yeah, it's gray.
Oh, then it's Southern.
Okay.
It would have been a Southern. So if it's gray, it looks blue to me. But if it's gray, it's Southern Civil War.
Okay, that makes me feel a lot better. It's still weird, but it makes me feel a lot better.
I wouldn't say it's used in a racist context in here or anything. I think it's just used. I mean, hell, they might even expect people not to even catch it.
Well, that was the point.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah, it's back then no one gave a shit, but now it's 2023 and you can't do shit like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay. I mean, you can. They didn't have the Confederate flag or any shape or form, but yeah, I did catch it. I was like, why is he? But I thought it was the Allies or the North. But I mean, yeah, it was kind of like, okay, this is what you go with. All right, like it's just weird to me. Like, why is anybody wearing that hat in general? Like, it doesn't look. He looks like an idiot. I guess maybe that was the point. I don't know. White Light takes place same season, but a month later or so after Green No More came out. It's a month later. I have issues with this 2-part.
What issues do you have with this 2-part?
Zordon and Alpha are fucking assholes.
They are fucking assholes.
Why should we tell everybody that counts on us that we're not going to be here? Ay. Let's just go in the secret room, Zordon, and they'll have to fend for themselves. Ay. Like, what the fuck? Like, why don't you tell your Rangers, hey, we got to go do something. We're not going to be in contact for a little bit. Don't worry about it.
I guess they kept the asshole attitudes of those two in the comics pretty accurate, huh?
But at least in there, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's better writing in the goddamn comics.
Well, yeah, I mean, here they explain it off at the end of it, but it's still, like, just stupid. And then how does Zed all of a sudden know? He's like, oh, Zordon's we can go attack now. I sense a disturbance in the grid. Like, what are you, Vader now? So. Pretty
much. I mean, with the way the canon is expanded now, it makes a little more sense, but back then, absolutely fucking.
I mean, it makes sense to us because we know more about the grid comic, but none of that is, like you said, none of that's here. Yeah,
it was never explained that thoroughly back then, or even thought of back then.
It's just strange, and I wasn't a big fan of it. I'm really trying to figure out now that he even had the gloves on and everything for that Civil War outfit. What the fuck?
Yeah, he's wearing the jacket too. It's really weird.
Yeah, and California's hot.
Not in the 90s.
I'm sure it was hot in the 90s, but it's probably hotter now because, global warming isn't real. Mm-hmm. But also, why is freaking like Rita in a trash pot sent down to Earth?
Zed got rid of her. He got annoyed with her.
Okay.
They took the focus off of the two main villains and made it one. I mean, which they eventually go back on when Rita is reintroduced, and they focus on both of them as a married couple.
Oh, that happens later?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't remember much of Zed. Like, I know I was watching Power Rangers when Zed first came, but I didn't stick around long.
I thought he was cool as hell, man. He was such a cool villain. The voice was great. The costume was great. And he felt more of like a threat than Rita ever felt like. And just even the first few episodes, he was still failing horribly, but he felt like more of a threat.
Yeah, Rita's kind of a joke character in this, and then you read the comics, and she ain't a joke there.
So I need to double check something. That's why, real quick. Yeah, I don't know what so the next season of Power Rangers, they use the mechs that we see. They're based off mythical beasts, but I don't see how, and they're not like ours. They're like weird Japanese ones. That's why half of them don't make fucking sense. That's why they say it's a unicorn, but it's something called a star Kieran, which is not a unicorn. So that's why
That
it
makes
looks.
more
Yeah.
sense, actually.
Yeah. Hey, so yeah, Kieran's that thing you fight in fucking Monster Hunter. Yeah, that makes sense.
Curran is also an Esper in Final Fantasy 3/6.
It's also a boss in Sky if you played Final Fantasy 11.
Boo!
I'll hang up.
Boo!
I'll hang up. I'll hang up.
I don't. You are right. It drops Curran's so I think it was that everybody wore back then.
Yep, I sure did.
I did too. It was an expensive piece of them too. I think it was not
And it
cheap.
was not. It wasn't rare EX either. You know, right?
No, it wasn't. That was the issue. It was rare, but not EX. So you could buy it, and so people sold it all the fucking time. I bought mine.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I think, or maybe
I actually had to drop, but holy hell, that was a lot of dedication.
Byaku's high date was rare EX. The pants.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So
Please, Joe, take us away.
Besides the main plot, and I'm going to get really into it. Besides the main plot, which is very important because I want to get back to that, the main side plot is that these fucking idiots are fucking, what is it called?
Probably open a dumpster.
Yeah, sorry, the weed's starting to kick in. Bulk and Skull are fucking trying to open a dumpster that they found, and it's like the goofiest thing ever. And they, at some point, they try opening it with a giant can opener. I don't fucking know why. The 90s were fucking weird.
Yeah, I did not care for any of that subplot there. I was like, what is this? And they're just like taking all sorts of different random things and trying to like break it open. I'm just like, why? And then even at one point, Skull's like, my dad's gonna kill me. I'm like, this is just weird. None of this makes any sense, but it's a kid's show in the 90s. So also, none of these putties blow up. Like, I thought putties blow up when you hit the Z.
No, they turn into putty pieces.
Oh, they don't do that here. They just get hit and then they fall on the ground and wiggle.
I thought in the initial episodes they like exploded.
One does. Okay. One did. Okay. I'm watching it now. Yeah, a couple do, but I guess they probably couldn't afford to do it too many times, you know?
You reuse the same animation over and over again in a couple seconds time span?
What are you talking about?
They wouldn't do that.
Yeah, because some of them just like they hit them and they fall, and some split up and do the whole disintegration thing. I don't know. I forget much about the putties. I just know I had the toy. I had the toy of this one, and it broke apart, and now it never got put back together. I'm pretty sure.
What is it called? It's hard to remember the putty sucked ass when we've been reading the comics, and they absolutely whoop ass and are considered an actual threat at one point. So much where Rita's like, I need you guys to dumb these fucking things down a little bit because we can't have that happening again.
Yeah, I mean, this show is also much harder for us now that we've read like good Power Rangers material. Then you're trying to watch this, and it's just like it's hard. It is really hard.
Yeah, it doesn't hold my attention very well at all.
So we eventually establish that there's something going on. They don't know where Zordon is, blah, blah, blah. Billy goes into a secret latch that he finds and sees what looks like a different TV show. So I assume that... So here's my ongoing theory, which I need to actually look up. There's no time, though. No time, don't worry about it. I will answer this on the next Power Rangers things we do. What they do currently in Japan that I know for a fact that they do, they always tease the next season of the show. I think they've always done that. So I believe since Zoo Rangers does take place before, I believe they're called... I don't know what their names are. In Japanese, I don't know what their names are.
Which ones?
They're Dia Rangers.
The Dia Ranger where the White Ranger is from.
Yeah, so I assume they tease the White Ranger in Zoo Rangers, and that's why there's footage of them being together.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because the White Ranger's from a different show, right?
Yes, he's from the next show. But his the mechs they use in this special and for the second season of Power Rangers are the mechs they use for Dia Rangers, which is the one that he's from. That's why his mech can now fuse with their mechs.
Okay, I was kind of wondering about that too, because I was like, at one point in this, after the White Ranger shows up, they ride the Tiger Zord, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
all right, thank you.
It's pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I was like, this is different. Now, because it's the end of the first episode, which I remember Rich talking about this before, where you have Billy climbing in the vent like he's Solid Snake, and he looks down and he sees the DARPA chief dying, and I mean the White Ranger being experimented on. That's like when I was watching this, I'm like, this reminds me of Metal Gear Solid.
Fuck, I really need.
Yeah, but now that you mention it, I suppose.
I really need to play like another. I've been really having a bad hankering to play another Metal Gear game, and then I'm like, I could really just replay Death Stranding. Or I'm like, I should really replay a Metal Gear game. Nah, that take too long. I'll just replay Death Stranding. No, I'll just wait till Metal Gear Solid Delta comes out. No, that's not going to be out for a while. And I remember, oh fuck yeah, Death Stranding 2 comes out in like 2 months.
Just play Metal Gear Solid 1. It'll be good to go.
Oh, Metal Gear Solid 1's ass. I'd rather play 2, even though 2 sucks. But I'd rather play 3.
3 is great, man.
2 does not suck.
3's
2
the best.
suck, but 3 is great.
No. See, Rich, if you go through the fabulous games my mom found, I had a really bad experience with Metal Gear Solid 2 where I decided to crunch for time and sit through half of the game for one sitting. And I basically played the game till 3 a.m. and then recorded a fucking podcast for Mike at 8 a.m, got like 5 hours of sleep, and had nightmares about Metal Gear Solid because the Colonel was yelling at me to go to sleep. So you have a bad time.
Oh, that was your first time playing it?
No, that was the second time played it. That's why I hate that game.
Oh, fuck, that's great. Dude, the first time I saw that scene, I lost it.
Yep, I remember that because you thought your PS2 was break down or something.
Yeah, I didn't think it was
like glitching. Like, what the hell's going on?
Oh, now you're talking about me because I was using an emulator, and for some reason a bunch of the characters had dark skin. I wasn't sure why.
Oh, that
Oh, that's bad. No, but yeah, that scene, like, they made it seem so realistic. There's no warning. You should really turn off the game. You've been playing for a while.
Yeah, and I'm high and tired.
Oh, and then I did remember these 3, the villains that they fight in this, the monsters. Like, is that the lipstick ear one, or is that a different one I'm thinking of?
The big hand.
It looks familiar.
It's a different one.
Oh, okay.
Was it a big hand, Rich?
Yes.
Okay.
I thought they were in a basement for Skull and Bulk, but apparently they're just in a garage because they're in California. There are no basements.
All right, basements.
That's true.
No.
Right, limestone. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, I think there's some, but they are not cheap. So, and it's California, so nothing's cheap for property.
Yeah, same as Texas. That's the same.
Land
Yeah,
is cheap
but it's all next to the ocean, so
yeah.
you can't drill in the limestone in Texas. So no one has basements.
Yeah. Plus, they don't bury their pipes either in Texas.
Yeah.
It doesn't work out very well when it freezes.
Yeah.
So there's the white light stuff. So eventually the White Ranger does show up, and because Zordon's like, Zed is getting more powerful, so we needed backup. And then when he's like, this is the new leader, I think before they even say who it is, he's just the leader. And I'm like, and Jason's like, okay, cool. And I'm like, shouldn't you be upset? You were the leader. Like, why are you all of a sudden just cool with it?
Bullshit. Yeah, they didn't even like insult him. Like, hey man, what do you think? You think this? Like, no, we're just doing it.
Did you guys did that documentary say the White Ranger was supposed to be his brother originally?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it actually was. Yeah.
And then they didn't cast his brother, and then they casted him as the White Ranger instead, and then his brother took his life later.
God damn it! Now I hate the show even fucking more. God damn it! God damn you, Saban.
He's in the show too. His brother is in it for a couple episodes at some point, but then he didn't become a recurring character or anything.
Yeah.
And then he took his life later. Not that much later. He also died the same way JGF took his life later. So
fucking,
I don't think that was coincidence either.
Chris fucking Saban's gonna fucking meet these hands in like the next fucking year. I swear to fucking God. Also, Kim faints.
Yeah, I thought that was odd. I was like, why do you have to make Kim faint? But I guess because Kim is in love with Tommy. And I mean, there's not enough episodes that I've seen of this show where I know they become a couple, right? In this,
in different forms of canon, they're married.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like in the show itself.
I don't know exactly when they make it official, but yeah, I guess so. I mean, even in this White Light arc, Kim is the main point of contact for when he's like, oh, he's coming to town. He told me, like, so that tells you a lot.
Also, he's got that sick ponytail. It's such a sick fucking ponytail.
It's very 90s. So when he takes off his helmet, it has a little like clamp on it he has to undo, and I thought that was kind of weird. Like, that's not how all their helmets are. They don't come apart in the middle.
As far as I'm aware, like even my official Legacy Red Ranger helmet has the clips.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't like that, dude.
I just never noticed it.
Yeah, you never do.
I don't know why they have Kim faint in. I thought that was kind of like very 90s.
I kind of get it. It's, unexpected. Her boyfriend's back, part of the team, and it's almost like a dream of hers coming true. It's a little way overboard, but
nobody checks on her. There's like, oh, hey man, it's great to see you. And she's just laying on the floor.
Jason's still probably stunned that he's not leader anymore.
Was the Green Ranger the leader?
No.
What the fuck?
Also, at that exact moment, through no one's brain did anyone ever go, oh fuck, are we gonna have the white guy say white power? Oh, Probably wasn't our best decision.
They never say it, do they? I'm assuming.
Now, he says it every transformation.
Oh. Well, I also thinking that I'm wondering if Austin St. John was already out of his contract to leave the show at this point, too.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that either.
Because I know in the documentary they talk about how it was after the first season that the three that leave, it's because, well, I mean, like, for the Yellow Ranger, I forget the actress's name. She said it by she fucked up. And she felt terrible of what she said. She's like, I thought, because she was asking for more money or something said something in front of the shareholders, and yeah, they were not happy with her.
Yeah, it was a big company higher ups. They were at some like event, and she was supposed to present something, and then kind of went off script and brought that up, and that was it.
How dare an actor ask for more money? My God,
they're fucking legitimate like rock stars all over the country, like Power Ranger mania, and they're getting pretty much pennies in Hollywood at that time.
God, they were making like $700 a week if they were lucky, or $700 every 2 weeks. It was not good pay.
Even like less hourly, because they were putting in like 12-14 hour days.
Yeah, because there was no union, so they could just work whatever. They could work them whatever.
They were getting abused, and they made one of the most memorable kids franchises in our history.
Mm-hmm.
But also, why do you need to work that long days when a good chunk of the show is reused footage?
The idea is just to pump out. It's the idea of, from what I can assume due to late stage capitalism currently, the idea, I guess, was to pump out a bunch of episodes, have them go on tour, have kids watch the new episode and be like in awe, and then be like, "Hey kids, you want to meet the fucking Power Rangers? They're in your area today," and then go from there, because they can't be on tour and also produce episodes. That's probably what it was.
Oh yeah, that probably is accurate then.
You gotta think like the sheer amount of episodes they had each season. They had to be working a hell of a lot, even though a lot of it wasn't in suits. But then, even then, by season 2, season 3, they had to then shoot suit footage on top of what they already were doing. And then you got to think voiceovers, media appearances. There's a lot to it.
Yeah,
they were also doing commercials. I'm gonna mention every time, you have the fucking Taekwon Taibo, fucking like all the other weird merchandise they were fucking pushing out to. Like they were. I want to say they were, a lot of that time they were talking about, it was also included them doing all the goofy shit too as well.
Yeah, they were doing a lot in those first couple of years. That documentary really makes Power Rangers harder to watch. Really good documentary, by the way. Hollywood Demons on Max, depending on when you hear this. It's good. There'll be more episodes out by the time you hear this, because this is coming out in May. So.
It's gonna be May. But one thing that I think is really interesting too, which you can also tell that they reuse footage. Did either of you bastards watch that video I sent you?
Which one?
The White Ranger one. How in America it's Tommy, but in Japan which is weird that it happens in both this and America, that the White Ranger in the Japanese version is a 10-year-old kid. So if you watch the YouTube video, you can tell.
Oh yeah, that was weird as fuck. But yeah,
the White Ranger's way more energetic. He's like skipping around and like over exaggerating, because it's supposed to be a 10-year-old child. That's why sense. That's why the mech goes crazy, because he can't control the mech because he's a 10-year-old.
Okay, where's the Falcon? Because doesn't the White Ranger have the Falcon sword and the?
That's season 3, the Ninja Zords.
Oh, okay. I thought White Tiger he had both.
Yeah, so he starts with White Tiger, season 3, he gets the Falcon sword.
Oh, okay. Also, that freaking sword is annoying when it talks, Saiba.
Yeah, it's a weird sword.
Yeah, I don't like it. I just want to watch the comics, I realized.
It makes you miss the comics.
Read the comics. I'm not talking about watch comics. I watch comics too, because this was not great. Like, when we watched Green with Evil was good. This was not good.
It's weird, right?
Was amazing. I mean, even like we brought up, before the pod, before we recorded, that Green Candle, that shit is better too, from what I remember. Like a one-on-one Jason versus Goldar and his little dimension area, dark dimension. Like, there's so much cooler shit in there that I wish was part of this angle, and it's just not.
Well, you can see a lot of the issues here where, like, as I'm watching this now, the Zords are never really on screen at the same time that much. They're not even hitting the enemy. like you can really tell once you know how much of this like they were running out of footage, and it doesn't look nearly as good as it does in the earlier season.
Well, that was one of the issues back then that they had to solve. And this season 2 and even 3 was like a transitional period for them where it was like, how do we handle this? Like, how do we not only keep it fresh, but also not reuse things more so than we already do? And that's when I'm sure the thought of Zeo came by and they just ran with it.
Mm-hmm.
Just switch it up every year and that's it. And I mean, from what they said anyway, I think it was even in the documentary, you know, when they started switching up the suits and some of the actors, ratings went up.
It's almost as like they should have done that fucking forever ago.
But also when they replaced the actors, they didn't tell them that they were replacing them.
Oh, that's crazy.
They're like, oh, this person's auditioning. They had no idea that they're auditioning for your job and you're leaving.
Yeah, so this was probably what I think Mike said earlier, that this was probably an event where they're already like, hey, look, guys, this is the new Red Ranger. It's like, wait, who's the new Red Ranger? Or hell, I wouldn't even be surprised if it was, all right, everyone get ready for the script. Hey, this says that Tommy's the leader? Yeah, that Tommy's the leader, Austin. Have fun.
We don't like you anymore because you asked for more money, so fuck you.
Yeah.
Well, I think he also asked for one of the things that they asked for in their contract was some of the toy sales. And they got very, very upset about that.
Yeah, it was like a low percentage of the toy sales, which I'm sure still would have been some pretty good money. Yeah,
or something.
And
like
they said go fuck yourself. Yeah, it was like 1 to 3% or something like that. And they're like, nah, go fuck yourself.
But they were splitting the toy sales. Actually, they were splitting it with the studios, like all the different channels that were airing it. They got a cut of the toy sales.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's what happens when you let companies have free reign to do what they want. They will take advantage of people. And I know in that documentary, he even said, like, we'll just go find other people who want to act and put on the suits. Fuck you. Like, we'll get someone else. We don't need you. Like,
that's exactly what they did. And you got to think, like, this Saban has done so much shady, abusive shit. This guy could have his own Hollywood Demons episode just on this alone.
Maybe he will later. We never know.
Maybe he will, because that's technically the train currently. A lot of the reasons why this special is doing so good is because of that Quiet on Set one they had.
Oh yeah,
yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, about Nickelodeon, and then they realized that Hollywood's fucked up, so they came out with Hollywood Demons. So I'm really excited to see where that comes from too. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a whole.
There's endless material to make this series. Yeah.
Because I think after that Quiet on Set one, they're in talks to do a Disney one next, which I'm actually kind of excited for because Disney's also fucking crazy.
Well, they're all crazy. They all have bad stuff. Like, it's just companies are not great if they don't have to be. You know, they're just what they do.
I just really hope the Disney special has someone confirm the pornography vault
of all the drawings they do.
Yeah.
I don't. You never. And then the end of this episode is just normal, stupid Power Ranger stuff.
But look, Mike, whenever they fuse, they shake hands and look at the screen, almost like this is some kind of special.
It was a special, wasn't it? Huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I like that. I like the helmet though.
The helmet is
the White Ranger helmet. I think the whole outfit's pretty damn nice.
Yeah. No, the mech.
It is.
Oh, the mech. Okay, guys.
Yeah.
I have no like when we watched Green with Evil, I wanted to watch more Power Rangers. I didn't because I knew better. I have zero interest to watch more Power Rangers right now. Zero.
Honestly, I thought it was actually way more in depth, and I apologize for that. But also now I'm kind of excited to see how badass, because we already kind of have the half introduction of Tommy being evil and them turning Jason into the White Ranger. So that being kind of, if they went that route in an alternate reality, I'm really excited to see how they handle it in the main reality.
You mean the comic?
Yeah, the comic main reality. Yeah.
When we get we have like three volumes of Go-Go to read before we get there. But yeah, Necessary Evil is about the White Ranger. That's all I know. Hey, Go-Go is really damn good, so I can't argue with Go-Go.
Yeah, it's a recurring moment where it's like, I want to read Mighty Morphin. Oh, we got to read Go-Go, Joe. Okay, and then Go-Go's really good. And it's like, oh, but I need more Go-Go. Now we got to go back to Mighty Morphin, Joe. Fuck, goddamn it.
Just be glad that most of the time you're not going to be let down. So
yeah,
keep that in mind.
I was let down today when I watched these 4 episodes. I was let down big time.
Oh yeah. I will say this. Like, the only thing that's redeeming again is the nostalgic memories I have for certain scenes. Like I said, Tommy and Goldar, or like when I remember it always came on like right after school, and I had to like rush home to go see what was happening. So I remember White Light because I really wanted to see who the hell that White Ranger was. I had all these like theories. I don't remember who the hell who I thought it was, but I was so excited to figure it out. And I remember the episode 1 kind of going off the air and Billy like staring, into that room. And then I had to rush home the next day or whatever day they ended up airing it just to find out, it was eventually Tommy. But I still remember how that felt back then.
Yeah,
it was exciting.
As much as I hate to admit, that scene of him coming down and then technically the ending of them being like, "Oh, we're so glad you're back, Tommy," is also really nostalgic too. And it has its moments, but it's not. Those small moments aren't worth 50, 100 episodes of fucking 90s garbage.
No, because I mean, if you go through even season 1 of Power Rangers, like I don't know how many episodes there was. Like what? If I'm estimating here, like what 60-ish? I don't know. It was a lot, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Out of all of the high volume of episodes, the only shit that was really worth watching is probably the first episode. So you could see how shit went down, green with evil, and then that's probably it. Like nothing else really mattered.
There's probably 1 or 2 Q episodes that people are like, "Yeah, this is okay," but yeah, I also agree too.
All right, yeah. So like non-filler episodes, it's like let's say a max of like 8.
Yeah, that sounds very accurate. Yeah, because this was really tough to watch. But hey, we finally did it because we've been talking about doing this White Light stuff for a while, so I'm glad that we got it done. I'm happy.
Yeah, it's going to be relevant for our comic run and all that. So you can now have some appreciation to where Tommy came from when it came to those powers.
Also, we all put our foot down. We're never watching the Power Rangers series for this podcast ever. No,
we're probably never going to watch another episode either now again. Like, I think I'm done.
I don't think there's any reason to.
Other than the Forever Red one I've thought about, but I don't think I care enough. So
there's a Forever Red one that okay, when we say show, we also don't mean the special that came out recently. That one's definitely on the list.
That's the movie, technically.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
You want to watch that once and always?
I would say that's probably the red team. The red one's also a good one. I also kind of want to watch the other newer one where Tommy fights the evil version of himself and has the Mighty Morpher, Master Morpher.
When they mesh some of the seasons together in those special episodes, most of the time they're pretty good. Forever Red, I would say it's worth it.
Hey,
that's
Forever
probably
Red also has a real killer in there too.
Sure does.
Also,
one of those actors is a murderer.
Well, hold on now. If it makes you feel better, we also have an actor that made it too in that special. The guy that plays the Red Ranger in SPD is a pretty badass villain in The Rookie.
I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, he's also hot too. He's hella buff and hella hot. I'll give him that too.
How should we do shelf stacker box for this one? Should we put each one on its own category or group? I guess they're
I'd say each are their own.
All right, I'll go first. Both are going in the box. Both are awful. I'm good. Don't ever need to watch the show again. Doesn't hold up.
Funny, so.
Can't do it. Going in the box. What about you, Rich?
Yeah, I would box. Green No More. I would maybe stack White Light just because of nostalgia, but that's about it for me.
Okay, Mr. Joe.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Phoebe, if you somehow manage to listen to this, you have to Photoshop my picture on that guy dressed as a pimp shooting the gun of me just going, "I'm sorry, Jason David Frank." I'm also gonna have to box both of these. These fucking suck.
He will listen to this at some point. I can guarantee.
Yeah, these episodes fucking suck. I agree. Besides that really sweet Tommy moment where he's no longer the Green Ranger, and then the really cool moment of him showing up, and obviously I remember too the big helmet takeoff and being like, Rich has his favorite Ranger. Obviously, I'm sure he had it with his Gold Ranger, but this was my Gold Ranger moment. This is my Gold Ranger moment of a very 5-year-old Joe being like, yeah, Tommy's back. So other than that, yeah, these things suck.
Mm-hmm. Made me sad. I had a little bit of higher hopes for this, and I was not happy.
I had my nostalgia goggles on when I was remembering this, so I also apologize.
Oh, that's fine.
So was I. I'm definitely guilty of that.
Oh, I will do almost anything for this podcast. That's been proven by now. I don't mind. More content, the more content. That's what I do. I make content.
Not everything we're going to review is going to be great. So
no, and it shouldn't.
Clearly.
I mean, I could cherry pick better, but I don't want to. I like going in a lot of stuff blind and then leaving happy or leaving upset. You never know.
Welcome to Games My Mom Found, episode 3279, where Mike is a brain ajar and he just has words. What are we playing today, Mike? Parappa the Rappa. Ooh, he's gonna hate this.
He definitely would.
That for some reason. It's weird. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to like it, but we'll see. Might get played at some point. Futurama, we're going to be near episode like 200,000 by then, so I'll be well over the 2,000 before I'm heading in the jar.
Say, do we? You don't know. In the next 10 years, they could figure out a way for us to live to 200, like Futurama.
Hey, I would sign up to be a cyborg, put my head in a jar, put my head in the computer at some point when I'm dead. Like, I would love it. I think that'd be great if I could just absorb knowledge and like not have to worry about the body. Like, fuck it, yeah. Only the one thing I'd learn. So, hey.
Yeah, I miss food.
I wouldn't miss food. If I didn't have to eat ever again and I could survive, I'd learn to be okay. And there's other things with. All right, so we all mostly didn't like it. Yeah, I guess. And I don't know what our next Power Rangers material will be, so I don't know what we'll get to next. Maybe the comic, something else. I don't know, because we got other stuff going on. So, but at some point we'll come back to this. Maybe we'll keep up with it. I don't know. So I can't really promise you guys anything hearing this. But hey, we kept our promise and we got White Light out. So I kept my word on something again. And if you enjoyed this episode, the rest of our Power Rangers content will all be in the show notes. Check that out. If you want to support the show, we do have a Patreon, a little direct vote in our Patreon poll. We have 1 to 2 polls a month. If you want to be a part of the show, if you want to suggest things for the show, if you want to be on the show, join the Discord. That's where I ask for people. You can also lurk, chat with us. I don't care. I'm just happy to have always people join us and just be in the Discord. And want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro, Helena at Hell Has Free. Follow her on TikTok. I think I'll check her out and check out A Gamer Looks at 40 with Bill Tucker. And check out absolutely the best podcast of Work in Progress with Zach. He talking about the MCU movies and MCU adjacent movies. Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, Audio Only, TikTok, and rate and review wherever you get your podcast. I need to say, so we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Nara.